Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to the 14th episode of the 3 a.m. Knitter podcast. I'm so happy you're here. All right, let's get rolling. So if this is your first time here, a very warm welcome to you. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you. Thank you for coming back and checking in to see what's going on here at the 3 a.m. Knitter Craft Room. All right. As usual, a little bit of housekeeping. You will find me on Instagram as 3am Knitter. Email is 3amknitter@gmail.com. My snail mail address is down below in the comments or the show notes section. You can find me on Ravelry as 3am Knitter, and there's a 3am Knitter podcast group that you can join if you'd like to do that. So I'll link that below as well, in case you're interested. What else do we have? Yes, this month, August the 1st, the first edition of the 3am Knitter newsletter went out. So if you have not subscribed to the newsletter, there'll be a link below for you to do that. This is a newsletter that I will be sending out on the 1st of the month, and it will just include upcoming projects, upcoming pattern releases, calls for testers, also the schedule for the virtual knit night that starts this month, and lots of other things as well. So if you'd like to subscribe to that, please do so, and it will hit your inbox on the 1st of every month. What else do we have going on for housekeeping? Let's see, I got a little list here. Virtual knit night I told you about. Yes, pattern release. So just this past weekend, I guess it's still the weekend, so I believe it was yesterday, so Saturday, the Thunderbolts and Lightning sock pattern went live on Ravelry. So I'm very excited about that. My test knitters did a fabulous job. So you will recall that this is a shorter sock, a mid-calf sock. It's got a very subtle heel, so it's heel flap and gusset construction, but it's a very subtle heel, so it just kind of works right in with the stockinette stitch. The pattern is on the front and top, front of the leg, top of the foot. And it is those Thunderbolts, those lightning bolts that you can see. Now, this opens up a little bit as you wear the sock. So just as a heads up, this is a looser fitting sock, and it's a looser fitting sock because in the design, you've got yarn overs. So I think you can see that, you got some yarn overs. So the sock is going to be a little bit looser. So if your preference is, a snugger fitting sock, you might want to consider going down size. So you can see so this is a 72 stitch. You can see it's quite big, and it fits, it fits on my leg. It doesn't fall down, but it's not tight fitting. So bear that in mind when you're knitting it. I knit this pair out of Songbird Fibres, and you can see on the project page or the pattern page in Ravelry or on Ravelry. Wow. I'll link to that below as well. You can see a link to the Songbird Fibres website. I love her sock yarn, Stratford, Ontario dyer. She has beautiful colorways. This obviously is not one of her fancier ones. This is the charcoal colorway, but it's incredibly soft. It's beautiful to knit with. Yeah, so that has gone live. So I hope that you enjoy that. And remember, as subscribers to the podcast, there is a wee bit of a discount code down below. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, please do. So that is the Thunderbolts and Lightning socks live on Ravelry now. So I'm very pleased about that. Okay, so I think that virtual knit night. So every month I'm going to be having, I'm undecided as to whether I will be having 1 or 2 virtual knit nights each month. We're starting off with just one scheduled for now. I'll see how it goes, and if people are interested, I'll definitely do it more often. But the first knit night is this coming Wednesday. Sorry about that. Bear with me. I thought I had this up on my iPad, but stories, virtual knit night. Okay, apparently I don't know how to click. Yeah, so here we go. It's on Instagram. It's down below. So, whoops, sorry. Let's get back there. Wednesday, August the 9th, 7 p.m. Atlantic time. I'm in Pictou, Nova Scotia, so it's Atlantic time. So 7 p.m. Atlantic is 6 p.m. Eastern, if that helps. So we'll be participating in this virtual knit night on Google Meets. There is a link on Instagram in my profile, or I will put a link to the Google Meets page group down below. So all you have to do is click on the link, and it'll take you all the way to Google Meets, and I will let you in when I see you there. So really, this is just going to be an opportunity for us to get together and knit, right? You know, I do have a local knit night here with my LYS, but I thought, wouldn't it be great to get together with the viewers of the podcast, and we can talk about our projects. You can ask questions about upcoming patterns and things like that, and we can knit together. So Wednesday is the first one at 7 p.m. Atlantic, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to leave it to you to figure out the other time zones. There it is. So I hope I'll see some of you there. It's going to be a great deal of fun, I'm sure. Okay, so that is it for housekeeping. I wanted today to mix things up a bit and start with a little reading, because I came across this this entry in my favorite Stephanie Pearl McPhee At Knit's End book, and I wanted to share it with you because it's all about gauge, and I've been struggling a bit with gauge the last couple of weeks, so this kind of spoke to me, so I just want to share this. To save time, take time to check gauge. Every knitting pattern ever written. There are those knitters who believe that gauge is a vital component of knitting. They take time to check it at the beginning of every project, and they have a stack of swatches to prove it. For their diligence, they are rewarded with garments of predictable size and shape, and then there are the rest of us who occasionally take risks with gauge, neglect swatches, and live on the edge. For our lack of diligence, we are credited with inventing the cowl neck sweater. If I neglect gauge, I will gracefully accept the consequences. I love that entry. Haven't we all had issues with gauge? And then perhaps called it a design element, like the cowl sweater. Anyway, all right. So we have finally had a break in the heat here in Pictou, Nova Scotia. Yesterday it rained all day, and today it is, although much more pleasant, still warm. And so today I am going to share with you what I am not wearing. So I dug into my cupboard and I pulled out this sweater, which in my true fashion, I finished, I don't know how long ago, a few years ago, a couple years ago. And I still haven't woven in my ends, which indicates that I haven't worn it. Anyway, this is a sweater that I knit out of stash, and here it is here. You can see, yeah, so there's a few little ends here that I have to weave in, but this is just, it's acrylic. I think it was Bernat's Chunky, maybe. I don't think I have any left because I used it all. Oh no, there is some left over there. But anyway, that's what it is. I do, however, have to take the sleeves. I have to fix the sleeves because I'm not happy with the way that I sewed them in. I pulled it too tight, so it's a little bit tight under the arms. But this is going to be a great sweater for hiking, I opted for no big collar, but because I don't like things up, so just a plain ribbed collar, and it's got plain 1x1 rib on the sleeves and 1x1 rib on the hem. So this is called the Scatter. It's a design by Istex. No, excuse me. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce this. Poran Vilmarstotir. I'm sure that's quite wrong. So it's the scatter pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. That's from the designer page there. So really, it's one of those sweaters that you can really have fun with whatever you have in your stash, really. Let's see. Again, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. It was published in October of 2014. It's a bulky weight sweater. The gauge is 12 stitches and 18 rows to 4 centimeters or 4 inches or 10 centimeters. It's knit on 5 and 6.5 millimeter needles, or 8 and 10.5 US. The pattern comes in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. Let's see, and the yardage is 698 to 797 meters, or 768 to 872 yards. Let's see. They knit it in Lopi. I knit it in what I had in my stash. It's been knit 143 times. If I recall, it was a relatively easy sweater to knit. I'm just taking a look at the pattern right now. Body and sleeves are worked in the round from the lower edge to the underarms, then joined to work the yoke in the round. Excuse me. Round begins at the left side of the body, and on the yoke, the round begins on the left side of back where the body joins the sleeves. So, yeah, they have instructions if you want to make it a cardigan. They have instructions for zippers. Really, it's a very easy pattern to follow. It's only a 3-page pattern. So it is charted, so you do have to know how to read charts. And yeah, so it's a relatively easy pattern to follow. I mean, the charts are there in color, which I found very helpful. And that's it, a 3-page pattern. So it is a sweater that I'll probably knit again because it's easy. There is quite a bit of interest, when you're doing the color work. Now, I did this two-handed Fair Isle. So you can see I don't have really big floats, right? It's rather neat inside. Look at this. Anyhow, so I am going to do a little bit of knitting, re-knitting on the sleeves. I'm going to figure out what I did there because it is uncomfortable to wear. It's a little bit snug, right here. So I'll loosen that up a bit. And yeah, anyway, so another nice sweater for the fall and the winter out of my cupboard. So that's what I'm not wearing. Okay. Works in progress. I am not going to show you the Alpine Bloom Tee because I want to show you when it's done. So I will be giving you a full update on that on the next podcast in a couple of weeks. And then as soon as that's done, it will be off to Jody to enjoy. So looking forward to that. But I do have an update on the Mama Earth collection. So I've already had quite a bit of interest in testers, so that's great, but I am still looking for a few more. So this is the Budding Branch sock. And yes, I've got a little bit of a blocking thing going on here. So it is a top cuff down heel flap and gusset construction. You must know how to read charts. There is the design on the leg, and it is also on the back of the sock, and then the foot is plain. However, if you are adept at reading charts, you could extend, it's not written that way, but you could extend the design down the top of the sock if you choose. I did not write that into the pattern. The pattern only has the design on the leg. So like I say, it is a top down heel flap and gusset construction. The design starts immediately after the ribbing. I chose 1x1 ribbing, but again, you could choose whatever preference of ribbing that you have. If you are not a fan of the heel flap and gusset and you know how to put a different heel in, I encourage you to do that. So I used, as you will remember, whoops, upside down, Windswept Fibres and Designs yarn. So this is the best kind 4-ply. And this particular colorway is Pine Clad Hills. Isn't it just delicious? I love it. So this, there it is in the, right. Oh, it's just, it's divine. It's a divine green. So this project, as it's written, will use, I don't know, 70 to 75 grams. So you will need a skein to make the whole sock. Yeah. Now, if you choose to make the leg longer by adding a repeat, you know, you may need a little bit more. But I'm guesstimating about 75 grams. So that's the Budding Branch sock. Very excited about that. This pattern will be going out to testers, I'm thinking tomorrow, or perhaps Tuesday, but I think I just have a little bit of math to check, and then it'll go out to testers. So if you're game for a chart only sock pattern, jump on board. Okay, the next pattern in the collection is the Hexagon Fern fingerless gloves. So this is just a very simple fingerless glove. It's short. It's got the pattern on the top of the hand, a regular thumb worked in. Again, I used 1x1 ribbing top and bottom. And for this pattern, there we go. Again, this is in the Windswept Fibres and Design, best kind 4-ply. This is in the Bake Apple Barons colorway. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this orange. There's the, it's a little bit tonal in there. Oh, so nice. So this best, I should have mentioned that this best kind 4-way is 75% superwash, blue face Leicester, 25% nylon. Now, this is a small project. I anticipate, you know, 15 grams, 10 to 15 grams. Very, very simple to lengthen this pattern if you desire. So you can make it, you know, as tall up your arm as you wish. My preference, because, you know, during the week I work at the computer, I like a glove that is, oh, I put it on backwards. Anyway, I just like something that leaves my fingers right full, and it doesn't have to go far up my arm because I'm usually wearing a sweater at my desk. But even though I've got it on backwards, you know, there's the design. So this pattern, I need to do a little bit more math on this one as well. I anticipate the fingerless gloves pattern will be sent out to testers mid to end of this week coming. So watch for that if you are on the testers list. And then finally, the third pattern in the series, the Mama Earth collection, is the Ripples in the Sand cowl. Can you see the sparkle in that? Oh, sparkle in this, yeah, just a little bit maybe. So you'll have to bear with me, this is not blocked yet. So this is in the round cowl. It's meant to represent kind of the beaches around here where you've got, you know, the water makes the ripples in the sand, you know, a little sparkle in the sand, you know, when you're walking along and you see it. So this particular cowl, as well as the other two designs in the collection, Windswept Fibres, and oh, wrong one, bear with me. Where did I put it? There we go. This is a different yarn. This is the Christmas Sparkle 2-ply sock. And it's light as a feather. It really is. I wish that I had had this blocked in time for you guys to see, but yeah. So this is a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, silver stellina, in the Nan's gingerbread cookies. I love gingerbread. Yeah. So this project, depending on how large you want to make it, if you want it just to be a cowl that's just like right here, you know, like kind of close up, you're going to need about 20 grams. If you want it a little bit bigger like this, so it's kind of slouchy, about 45 grams. And if you want it even longer, which you can certainly make it longer, it's very adaptable. You know, you could use up to 75 to 100 grams, depending on how often you want to wrap it around your head. So this is going to be out to testers probably by midweek. So the testing call that I'm doing, you can either test one of the patterns or you can opt to test all three. It's entirely up to you. Let me know if you're interested in that. Now, if we take a look at Windswept Fiber and Design website, so their web address, excuse me, is windsweptfibres.com. I showed you this before, and their best kind sock, they have a wonderful array of colorway. There's the Big Apple Barons that the fingerless gloves are in. So once the collection is released, the 3-pattern collection, the Mama Earth collection, there's going to be a special offer that if you purchase your yarn for all of the collection, so 3 skeins of yarn, 1 skein for the socks, for the gloves, and then for the cowl, and you send me a copy of your receipt, then I will be gifting you the pattern collection for free. There will be a coupon code for you to jump on Ravelry and purchase it, and you can get the pattern for free. So that's very exciting. Now, that being said, you don't have to use the colors that I used, of course, and you don't even have to use the yarns that I used. She has tons of other great yarns. If you want to do them all in Christmas Sparkle, actually I wouldn't recommend the socks in Christmas Sparkle, but if you want to do the cowl and the gloves in Christmas Sparkle, go for it. Or if you want to do the cowl in the best kind sock, you can as well. I mean, I am looking at this picture plant colorway that she has and thinking, wouldn't that be an amazing cowl? Ooh-wee. Such beautiful, beautiful colors. So I will link to her website. Check them out. And if you are interested in test knitting, let me know. I do have room in all 3 of the patterns, so I would love to have you on board. Okay, so that is the Mama Earth collection. Let me see what's next on my notes here. Yes. So now that those patterns are on their way out the door for testing, the next thing that is coming up is the Sunspot Socks. This is how far I've gotten. Yeah, I've written out the pattern, but I'm just getting ready to knit it up. But I want to get the Mama Earth collection out the door first. So this is another collaboration that I am doing with Botanical Fibres. Botanical Fibres is a Nova Scotia-based indie dyer. And I wish that you guys could feel this yarn. It is so soft. I'm just trying to see if I can get the color. No, that's a little bit washed out, but that's better. But yeah, so this is the Happy Yellow colorway that I'm using. It is her Sensible Sock, 80% merino, 20% recycled nylon. It's hand wash. So I will link to her website below, but she is a natural dyer from Nova Scotia. So, you know, I love supporting Canadian makers. If you happen to be around Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia in September, you can go see her and visit her at Woolstock, which is great news. And I'm so excited. She's going to be at PEI Fiber Festival, and I will be at PEI Fiber Festival in October. So I'll be there teaching a weaving class, and I will have an opportunity to go and meet all of these amazing Canadian makers. So I'm so excited for that. So that pattern, back on track here, the Sunspot Socks pattern, I'll be giving some sneak peeks of that over the next few weeks, so watch for that. You can see it on Instagram. If you don't follow me, the link is below for you to do so if you'd like. So I'll put some sneak peeks out there for you to see. Okay, so that's coming very soon. Some great collaborations with amazing East Coast makers, which makes me very happy. And next episode 15, I'll be talking about a new collaboration that I'm doing with somebody on the West Coast. So watch for that as well. Okay, so what's coming up next for me in my own personal knitting? I have got this far on my Sophie Scarf. So I have caked up the Bijou spun quality yak. The yak down, 75% yak down and 25% bamboo. I will be making the Sophie Scarf out of this. Yeah, I'm excited about that. This is incredibly soft, and I think that that's going to be the perfect pattern for this. So this, I've just, as you can see, caked it up. I'm going to throw it in a project bag with the pattern, and then I will have it for knit night knitting or car knitting or things like that. So I think it'll be the perfect pattern and the perfect yarn. So, oh, one thing I forgot to show you. There's the pattern page for the Thunderbolts and Lightning socks. Okay, so it's all ready for you to get on over there. There's 4 projects in there already. So take a look. So you must know about the Sophie Scarf. It's been everywhere. I think I'm the last person to knit it. It's a pattern by Petite Knit. It's in DK weight, but I don't think a pattern like this, it really matters what yarn you use. and it's been knit like over 10,000 times. So I am very late to the game, but I'm looking forward to knitting it up. I think that it's going to be a great little accessory for me when I go on my hikes and stuff like that in the fall. Yeah, so I will keep you up to date on that. But you know, with the commission knit that I have to finish and the sock patterns, etc., etc., it will really be a slower project. I'll just be picking it up when I need a break from other, you know, other things that are going on, like designing patterns and stuff like that. So next episode, I will have an update for you on the quiet piece sweater that I'm designing. I know that last episode I said that I would be looking for testers starting around mid-September. I'm going to push that to the end of September. I've run into a few bumps in the road with the design, so it's taking me a little longer than anticipated. So watch for updates on that. Yeah, okay. So I wanted to share with you one of my favorite books. So a number of years ago, my knitting BFF Lyanne and I went to Rhinebeck. Sorry, how could you ever forget Rhinebeck? And one of the purchases that I made was the Enchanted Soul sock book. So this is Legendary Socks for Adventurous Knitters. It's by Janelle Laidman. Sock knitters, once upon a time, sock knitters yearned for legendary patterns fit for queens and pixies and alchemists, yet still wearable for the modern adventurer. Still wearable for the modern adventurer. Then along came a designer who understood this yearning, and the Enchanted Soul was born, with 20 legendary sock patterns sure to please every adventurer on your list. This book is filled with sock patterns that I really want to knit. Almost every pattern in the book. Look at that. Cables and beads. But there are a few that will be my opus socks. Look at this. Sorry. Labyrinth. Can you see that color work in the leg? Isn't that just something else? There's a, oh, I don't want to show you that because it shows all of the charts. That one is a tree. There was one more or a couple more that I really want to show you. So her patterns are written brilliantly. They are very much chart heavy, so you must know how to read charts. They are not for the beginner knitter. You can certainly admire from afar, but they're not for the beginner knitter. Look at these, mirror, mirror. So the same design, but switching the colors. Isn't that fun? Oh, there's that one. And then that's a nice lace one. But the pièce de résistance in this particular book, for me at least, is coming right up. Oops. There they are. So this is called Firebird. Look at that. What a opus kind of knit for a pair of socks, right? These are the kind of sock patterns that you use that special skein of yarn that you bought at Rhinebeck, or you bought at, you know, something like that, that you had to have, but you didn't know what you wanted to do with. This is the kind of project. So these are called Tree of Life. Look at that. Oh, so just a book of fabulously amazing sock patterns that these are not patterns that you take to NITE, and these are not patterns that you try and do in the car. These are really those patterns that you sit quietly and you listen to a podcast or you watch Netflix kind of out of the corner of your eye while you're knitting away. So the Enchanted Soul, I just love this book. Yeah. So I've had it for a while, haven't ventured into actually knitting. I've done some dream knitting in here, but yeah, so that's kind of on my radar. I don't have a specific plan for them yet, but we'll see. So yes, the Enchanted Soul, love, love, love. Okay, so the other thing that's on my faves list this week is this new pattern on Ravelry that I've come across called the Intertwined Roots Shawl. And it is a fingering weight shawl. The pattern was knit in 2 strands of lace held together. So it's one of these shawls that, so it's got eyelets, it's got garter, it's got cables, it's got stockinette, it's got picot edging. Look at this thing. Wow. So let's see. The pattern itself was just released, I think. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, it must be because there's still a discount. It is by Ravijena Knits. Yarn is lace and lace. So 2 lace held together or fingering. Gauge is 17 stitches to 27 rows in garter, in stockinette with garter rows to 10 centimeters or 4 inches. Needle size 4.5 millimeter or US size 7. And it takes 1,050 approximately meters or 1,148 yards. Intertwined Roots is an asymmetrical triangular shawl worked sideways. It features detailed repetitive cabled edge and some stockinette with garter rows for the main body of the shawl. Some eyelet rows and a picot edge keep the knitting process encouraging until the end. Due to the loose gauge, it is light, soft, and drapey, and is big and cozy at the same time. It is a paid-for pattern. It is €7 or $10.75 Canadian. There is a coupon code until Friday, August the 11th. We are at the 6th now. So you can get 20% off if you purchase it with the coupon code before that next Friday. There are 7 projects already on the pattern page, which it looks like are the test knits, and they look beautiful. So this pattern is definitely on my radar. Oh, I love a big shawl. So that is the Intertwined Roots shawl. So I will link to that below. So if you are interested in it, you can certainly jump on Ravelry and purchase that. Techniques, just reading the techniques used: knit, purl, make one right and left, cable knitting, 2x2 and 4x4, following a repetitive chart and written instructions, yarn over, knit 2 together, and picot bind off. So there's nothing crazy there. Adventurous beginner could knit that, I think. Yeah, isn't it gorgeous? Ooh, that's definitely on my to-do list. Okay, so as per usual, I want you to make sure that you check out the links. Sorry, I'm just looking at this Windswept Fibres pitcher plant again. It is a beautiful colorway. All right, let's get into our Knitter's Oracle today. Yeah, give them a little bit of a shuffle. Split the deck as I do. Oh, we've had this one before, I think. Maybe not. The moth. The moth. Let's see what they have to say about the moth. That is a blue card. Whoops, went too far. Oh, I missed it again, sorry. What number is it? 36. Here we go. Okay, the moth. The dreaded moth. Much like finding a moth in your yarn stash, the moth card denotes suffering, despair, pain, and hardship. It can represent a burden you must bear, sorting and cleaning all that yarn, or the sorrow of loss, your finest alpaca destined for the trash pile. While it's true that it's always darkest before the dawn, this card does not have much of a bright side. Try to salvage some catharsis from the experience if you're able. Maybe even a hard learned lesson for the future. The moth. I hate moths. I mean, I like moths, but not in my stash. Yeah, you know, I don't even know what to say about this card. I have had moths in my stash before, and it was painful. It was painful having to just throw away yarn. You know, there are things you can try, like taking the yarn and putting it in a bag in the freezer and things like that. But I just find that once you have that moth, that infestation, no, I'm done. Get it out as fast as you can. That's my opinion. I don't know, what do you think? It is kind of a hard learned lesson. It really is. Yeah. But it does make you be more careful, doesn't it? When these kinds of things happen, you do tend to pay more attention, at least for a while. Yeah. The moth. Yeah. I don't like this card today. I wish I picked something else, but alas, that's the one that was chosen. So, all right. So just a few reminders. We have virtual knit night on Wednesday. If you are called to join us, please join us. This is just going to be a get together. We're going to just knit. Yeah. You don't have to come with any preconceived plan or anything. Just jump on Google Meets and we will meet each other and we will knit. If you want to become a test knitter for the Mama Earth collection, please let me know. I do have rooms still. I do have some great test knitters already lined up. They're just waiting for the patterns. But I would like to have a couple more for each project. Stay tuned for the Sunspot Socks, and get over to Ravelry and get onto the 3 a.m. Knitter group if you haven't already. And if you're so called to do some Thunderbolt and Lightning socks, grab the pattern. It's there. The code for the discount is down below. So that is it for today, my knitting friends. Thank you so much for knitting along with me, and I will check in with you in a couple of weeks. Take good care. Remember to support your LYS, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.